hear you well. A quick question before we start. Do you mind if I'll record this session between us, just for our
Oh, go ahead.
community?
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
First of all, it's nice to see you, nice to meet you, and I've been Googling around about your background, and I found that you're a famous coach. You have a bunch of books written on Amazon and bunch of
Yep.
webinars, and so you're kind of tennis legend.
I wouldn't say legend, but yeah, thank you. We have a joke in the U.S. about people being a legend in their own mind,
Okay,
right?
I got. By
Yeah,
the way,
yeah.
where are you based now?
I am currently in San Diego.
Oh, you have
Yeah,
such a nice weather there. You can play tennis almost all year, yeah?
all year round. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Now, where are you located?
I'm located in Ukraine.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, man, hard times. So, do people still get to play tennis in Ukraine?
Well, actually, yeah, I live in a safe region and we
Oh,
do
okay.
play tennis. We have leagues, we have
Okay.
pretty
Good.
huge community. But even in dangerous cities, they also still play tennis because if you play tennis, nothing stop you, even war.
Yeah.
You know this.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Sounds good. All right. Very good. I have less than 30 minutes here. So
That's more
um
than enough.
yeah. Okay. Terrific.
By the way, I want to quickly ask, did you have a chance to horse around about our solution we built, tennisif.com?
No, I did not. So yeah, if you could just walk me through it, I think I might have taken a quick look. Um, but yeah, just you start from square one because yeah, you can just tell me as much as you can.
Uh, okay, okay. Do you mind if I share my screen and show you this in
Oh,
action?
sure. Yes, please.
Okay, okay. Do you see my screen?
I do.
All right, so here's the website. But it's not just a website, it's the whole tennis ecosystem. So for a certain city, for example, I live in a city of 300K citizens population, and we have a
Uh,
community like up to the ballpark is 200 players. So we have website that cover almost all tennis need in a certain city. So we
okay.
we have statistic, we have league rankings. For example, we divided community into several buckets. We call it leagues. So for example, we have a man league, and we have like 5 categories like beginner, middle, advanced, pro-am, and veterans. So
Okay.
each player has a statistic and all data about his recent or any given game. So, for example, if you need to find a hitting partner or check his performance, whatever, you can just click his profile, and you can
Hmm.
track the whole record for the last year or two. You can see
Okay.
matches, performance, whatever.
Right.
Also, we have like
Wait,
court.
what is statistics? So you showed me league just now. What's in the statistics? Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not leading. I have a mediocre performance for me, but some our folks do great job in the court, and you can find them
Okay.
here. uh,
All right. Okay.
yeah,
So if you go to statistics, you get everybody.
yeah, absolutely, everybody. Yeah,
Okay. And if you go to leagues, then you get them split into singles and doubles, men and women.
absolutely. Yes, yes,
Okay. All right.
exactly. Also, we have a court booking system. So,
Okay.
for example, we have two main major courts, and I can book them directly from here from our software. So, for
Okay.
example, I can pick a court,
Okay.
select time, and pay
Okay.
whatever. What else we have? We have software for organizing tournaments. It's still in the process. I cannot show you
Okay.
right now, but it will be
Okay.
deployed in a week or so.
Oh, can you go back to the court reservation system again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And actually, if you can go through the full process of
Okay. So,
yeah, how that works.
okay. So we have like two major courts. They called Olymp and Karpaty. So, for example, I click Olymp.
Yeah.
I'm clicking here. So they have like 9 courts. So here I can pick any of them. For example, court number 6. But here I can book this particular court, but I can jump here to court number 4, number 5, and it's super easy and convenient.
And is that a price down at the bottom?
Yeah, that's
the 400.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's the price.
So different. You can change the price based on different time of day.
Yeah, I have admin system and I can change the price, whatever. Actually, hey, we're software developers that super enthusiastic about tennis, so we can build any system, any software, whatever.
Okay. Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you want to click through that then?
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah.
So here I need to just type my name, for example, Max, my phone number, and that's all.
Okay, and then how will you pay? What's the payment system?
We can connect any given payment system, like PayPal, cash, or directly from a card or whatever. It's not a problem at all. Yeah. So what else? We also have like software for example, events. So for example, you can do coaching session, masterclass, whatever. For example, our coach Artur recently provided a community with his own masterclass. So I provided folks with a link. They join it, participant join it, and we organized and held this masterclass about hitting serve. What else? We also have like so how to invite a certain player to a game. So for example, I want to play with you. So how? On the condition you registered on a website, I can find you. For example, I need to find hitting partner. So I'm clicking invite. Choose the league to play. For example, single league and category. For example, I want to play with advanced player, or even no, let's play with Pro-Am. So Pro-Am, and here I can find the name. So for example, I want to play with Yevgen. So let's pick a date. Well, let's say on Friday. Game time 3 p.m. Note about the game. Well, for example, steady Olymp. Additional note and send invitation. That's all. So I've sent him an invitation. We play, and after we play, for example, I go to invitations, my invitations. You see here right now. And for example,
so he's going to receive that. So he's going to think that you've invited him to something, or are you going to delete it?
He will he will receive invitation on a website, and we also have the system connected to a Telegram bot. I can show you. So actually, it can be connected to WhatsApp or whatever. Uh,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. So it will output to a chat app, but then do will the chat app populate back into do they interact?
absolutely
So if
correct. So
somebody enters something into that chat, will it show up on the website?
yeah, absolutely. So chat is like a
Okay.
satellite to the main site. So for example, so we play the game. So I need to add a score. So I can do it via Telegram bot, or I can do it
Okay.
over website right here.
Okay.
But I need to wait Yevgen to accept my invitation. As
Okay.
after
Right.
he
So
accept,
and then
we play, and then
yeah.
I hit the result.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
So
And then that populates the statistics and the league rankings and all of that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
for example, if I go to
Yeah.
my profile,
Yeah.
I can fill all information about my background, about my level, whatever. Then
Okay.
uh, I can see my whole performance statistic, whatever, and the latest games, for example.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Well,
see,
I would recommend that you play more matches that you can win, Max.
well, first of all, I'm not at the moment at my best performance because my son was born and I'm sleep
Oh,
terribly
okay.
poor, and that's why. But
I get it. Yeah, yes, yeah. Life gets in the way of good tennis sometimes.
yeah,
So, all right. So, all right, this is good. So now, are you in the Tennis Coaches United group?
no, I'm not.
Okay. Are you on Facebook?
Absolutely.
Okay. Go in and look up Tennis Coaches United. It's a group, and put a request in. And answer all the appropriate questions. Yes. So
Uh
there'll
huh.
be some questions for you to answer. Because I have this group of tennis coaches that's mostly in the U.S., but some people are in different parts of the world, and you can promote this to over 700 coaches.
Wow, that's a cool
Yeah,
tip.
yeah,
Here it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
There it is on top. So,
Awesome.
and this is something that I am beginning to move forward more and more. I'm going to be putting a lot more energy into this. Um, so what it is it's for tennis coaches to unite around tennis only, because I don't know what it's like in Ukraine, but in the US and in other countries in Europe, there's competition from pickleball and padel, right? And um, so some people who are really only wanting to teach tennis are feeling the squeeze of these competing activities. So, so the idea is to support and promote that and show people ways to win that competition over these other activities. So, having great tools like this is all part of that mission. So,
Yeah, and
yeah,
quick question: what are your thoughts about this in general? Do you think there's a way for
I think it's I
expansion
think it's
from?
very usable, and you're going to have some interest from people, because I like the fact that it has a social aspect to it, that it creates sort of a fire and forget. Like, you can do your invitation, then you can get on with the rest of your day. You know, you don't necessarily have to text that person and wait for a text. And then you've created something that data attaches itself to, and then people can see it, and then it spurs on more activity. People get inspired when they see other people being active.
Actually,
So I think
yeah,
there are a lot of great things to it. I would I would love it to see if you have also when you develop the tournament, you know, the tournament competition thing. So you might want to study some of the other products that are out there.
Actually,
Um,
yeah, I've been
yeah.
horsing around many products, and actually, you know what? They are almost all sucks. They're not into. I mean it. I mean it.
Okay. The best one ever was something called TMS. Are you familiar with TMS?
No,
Tournament Management Software.
uh
So it was great. It was great. It was built by software developers, and then it was sold to the USDA.
huh.
And then the USDA, in its infinite greed, decided that they would then have in-house build their own, and it's called TDM, and it was awful. And of course, they rolled it out before it was ready, so there were all sorts of problems, bugs in the system. So they rolled it out before it was ready, and it ruined tournaments. So, but yeah, yeah, tournament management system (TMS). I would highly recommend that you look at it because it'll give you a nice template of something to look at. Because it did scheduling in a way that was quite good because you could build in the Garmin system into the programming and then push a button and it would lay out the entire tournament. And it might make a mistake or two. You might have to go and it would tell you when there's a built-in conflict, and then you could go in and manually, you know, correct conflicts.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I was
Yeah,
horsing around the plethora of tools, I found that they
yeah,
are intuitively unclear. It's really tough to navigate, and
yeah.
they were offered to me. What my competitive advantage is that our solution is intuitively clear. It's like Apple, and they are like Android or Palm, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, the funny thing is, I actually was an Android user for many, many years and loved it. I thought it was more intuitive, actually, but, um, but, but then I converted to Apple. I don't know. I find that Apple computers are non-intuitive because it's like, where is this file? Why can I not find this file? So, but anyway, that aside, I do agree that you do have very good intuitive interface, and that's important. Um, I'm a big fan of directing people to something that's easy to use instead of, oh, I tried that, but I couldn't figure out where to do that. And then you have to explain to them, okay, go 3 screens deep, and then it's 3 screens deep, instead of hitting you right in the face, right where you could just push the button. So
All right.
yeah,
Thank you, Bill.
yeah.
By the
No,
way,
I'm interested, and we can talk more about it. But a good first step for you to do would be to join the Tennis Coaches United and promote it there, and then offer to do with anyone that's interested, like you're doing with me now.
awesome. I appreciate that. By the way, quick question. I want
Yeah.
to ask you about Tim Galway. What are your thoughts about his famous book, The Inner Game of Tennis? And
Uh, I think everything we're learning about neuroscience is confirming everything he ever wrote.
uh-huh.
So when that book came out, it met with a tremendous amount of resistance because it was so new. Those ideas were so new for people, and you know, and you know how tennis is and how people are. They get caught up in their traditions. We've always done it this way, right? And then you come up with an innovative new way of doing something, and then people say, "But we've always done it this way." And then, well, there's a better way. So, uh, yeah, I read that book it initially like in 1970. So it was not more than a few years old when I read it for the first time. And there's actually another book called Inner Tennis, Playing the Game,
Mm-hmm.
which is more practical actually. So there are a lot more practical exercises. one of my books, Visual Training for Tennis, the inner game of tennis people said my book becomes a next step from that. So, pinning more neuroscience and more visual, the understanding of the visual system to that, because it, 90% of what's been learned about the brain has happened in the last 20 years, and so little of neuroscience actually gets disseminated to the public. People don't really study it. So, um, anyway, those are my thoughts. I think it's genius. Is it? Have you read it? You like it?
Yeah, I read it, and actually, I also read The Inner Game of Business, his book about,
Okay.
and I was surprised by the level of content at this era of 70s. It was something really amazing. Uh, but
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, Tim Gal, like, there are famous sports coaches that don't even coach tennis, that use the inner game of tennis to teach their teams. Yeah, there are NFL football coaches that have their teams read the inner game of tennis.
By the way, you
Yeah,
mentioned, I want to quickly ask about athlete centered coaches. So, for example,
yeah.
if you know just theory and you have no real game practice, can you be still a good or great coach?
I think some of, I think, well, you have to have played the game, but there are cases of people who maybe were not accomplished players themselves, but they had an eye for it and they had the people skills to work with people. Are you familiar with Nick Bollettieri?
I'm afraid no.
Okay, Nick Bollettieri had Bollettieri Academy. Maria Sharapova, when she
Oh,
emigrated, she came to Bollettieri Academy. He was no better than a 3.5 player himself, but he was an ex-Marine, U.S. Marine, and he hired coaches, but he was the brains of the operation. So he taught the kids toughness, and he became a technician. So yeah, I think you can study and learn what it takes to become. I definitely, there are coaches who are lesser players than the people they coach, and they take the players to new heights. So yeah,
gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. By the way,
yeah,
I saw your webinar and you talk a lot about building tennis communities, and it's really fascinating to me because I also built community recently with my folks. And my question,
yeah.
for example, if you were built a tennis community from scratch, for example,
Yeah.
today, what would be your first three steps? So imagine new country, new city, new community.
Huh. Well, I would go to the tennis courts,
Okay, what next?
go to the tennis courts and see who's there, right?
Okay.
And say hello, right? I mean, I think that's the first step. Um, if I was going to then try to build a tennis program in a place that had very little or none, then I would make flyers. I would print out some flyers and put them at every coffee shop, every sandwich place, everywhere that someone gets their haircuts, and put them in the window saying tennis lessons.
All right.
So posting in places where people spend their disposable income is important,
All
because
right.
then you're reaching a certain demographic. Okay. These days, I would also create a social media ad. And I don't know what's most effective in Ukraine, but it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be, you know, something that you have in your country that's unique. And because what I can do with an Instagram ad is I can create I can create a radius in which the ad will show. So the tennis court would be at the center, and then I might move. Sometimes there's uninhabited regions. So if the circle's covering an uninhabited region, I would just move it over a little bit. And you can scale your advertising. Like I will sometimes spend $60 and I will get 2 or 3 new clients. And those 2 or 3 new clients combined will earn me about $10,000. And then the third thing is whoever comes through the door, take the absolute best care of them that you can. They are your new best friend, and back and forth. I'm your new best friend. And then introduce them to new people, and then you base it on friendship, and I think you get a long way that way. And then what happens is, then once you are taking such good care of that one person, then they start to tell people.
I got you. That's
Those are my 3 steps. So I would say, go and say hello, make flyers, and advertise, and then when somebody's in the door, take great care of them. Never overvalue the new people over the people who are your current clients.
yeah. And here my next.
Always overvalue the current client.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
here my next question. In your webinar,
yeah.
you talk about standards versus inclusion. So, for example, you said there's need to be a balance between acceptance and discrimination. Uh,
I don't know what you're referencing. You have to send me a link to this webinar that you saw. That sometimes I have forgotten
okay,
about my own
I'll
content.
remind you a quote.
Yeah.
You mentioned like you don't eat half an apple if worm in it.
Yes. Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
question
You
is
you stop. Yeah.
how you treat those people, because tennis people sometimes are selfish, egoistic, and
Yeah.
whatever, and how you find this
Right.
balance.
Well, okay. Here's another little pithy saying: is it's not a problem until it's a problem.
All right.
So sometimes you meet people and they're not the most pleasant person, but they play tennis and they want to be with the other people, and everyone tolerates them just fine. And everybody gets along. Okay, great. Okay. But if that irritable person becomes foul and is creating an offensive, you know, what's the word? On the, they're if they're offensive to the other people and now they're poisoning the atmosphere, then they have to go. You can't. They have to be told, no, don't act like that. Um, I'll give you an example. I had a man who came to my clinics, and I liked him personally. He and I were very nice, and yet he would make inappropriate jokes, which I didn't like. I knew I didn't like it, and I could tell that there were a few people that didn't like it. So I went to him and I said, "No, we're not going to joke like that here. This needs to be a very family friendly, kid friendly, atmosphere here. And when you joke inappropriately like that, that defeats that. People feel uncomfortable. I know I do. Right. So, and he still intermittently would do that, but not persistently. So, so he stayed. Um, and so anyway, yeah, I mean, I think, and there have been times that I've had people who are so selfish that they ruin everything, and I let them know, don't come back. Please don't come back, because when you're here, unfortunately, nobody else is having fun. So yeah,
Gotcha.
please don't come back to this program. And I've also been in situations where I'm powerless to do that because at the club, the leadership of the club says, don't do that. So I had a woman join a clinic, and she was just really, truly awful and made it not enjoyable for anyone. And then very soon that clinic just disintegrated because none of the women came. So it's just me and this one woman that no one seemed to want to be around. So, and then, so that it's not an easy thing to negotiate, but you know, it's not a problem until it's a problem. It's best not to overreact to things.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we have.
And sometimes people just need to take some time to get used to where they are and start to fit in. They'll self-modify their own behaviors sometimes. And who knows, maybe this is a lonely, angry person, and now they join your group, and the collective kindness of the group warms them up, you know, and they become. Are you familiar with The Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so their little Grinch heart grows 1, 2, 3 sizes and more, right? So it can happen. I mean, that's part of my vision is that it can be transformative for people. So anyway, I need to go because
Yeah,
the coffee shop that I'm at is closing shortly.
I appreciate your time. You share an experience. Great talking to you, and I'll talk to you in the Facebook. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Max.
Thank you, Bill. Bye bye.
All right, bye bye.